Hi there, Kim here at Olive City Oasis in Northern California, where fall is finally arriving, and I don't think anyone's happier about that than I am. Today I'm going to be doing a big harvest, mostly peppers and cherry tomatoes, because I want to get as much off my plants as possible before I go on a little trip. And when I get back, I think it's time to make some salsa. Also though, at the end of the video, I'm going to be harvesting a whole bunch of winter squash. That's the hope anyway. So come with me and let's get harvesting. Now I haven't had a great pepper year, but I think that overall it's going to turn out all right. Where'd that one go? There we go. Yeah, they've taken a little longer to come to fruition, but they are now. So these are Jimmy Nardellos, and I am going to get them all off now if they've got any size to them, because there are more blossoms coming on, as you can see, and I'm going to be gone. In about 6 days, I'm leaving to go to the Ashland Mystery Festival in Oregon, and I'm going to be gone for 4 days. So what I want to do is get all these peppers off all my pepper plants. And that way, well, the blossoms will have a chance to produce new peppers, and they will have a chance to grow and ripen before I harvest again, say, second week, third week of November, before our first frost, which doesn't come around here until probably mid-December, if not January. So yeah, my pepper plants didn't start off the season well. They just got a late start, and then the sun was so intense, they just didn't take off growing. Even though pepper plants love the heat, they don't like the dry, super hot heat we get here in July and August. But once it cut back from 115 down to 105 or 100 even, which is what it's been between the last 2 weeks, these have just taken off. And I've been getting a ton of peppers. I've been harvesting little by little and popping them in the freezer, but well, now I just want to get them all off before I go on my trip. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, even these little plants are loaded with peppers. Okay, now I'm gonna tackle the Cubanelles over here. Got several on this one plant. Big too, oh my gosh, look at this. Just really big. Hey ladies, are you inspecting my harvest? Making sure I'm doing things correctly? Wow, those are some massive peppers. They're like 5 to 6 inches long. I've left a few on the plant so they can grow bigger. And there are lots more new ones coming on. We'll see if they have time to ripen. Okay, here I've got a blot pepper plant. This one just came up about 6 weeks ago, and it's already fruited. So there's about 5 peppers on the plant, but I took only one off. So you can see here, there is a slight turning of color. It's gonna turn purple, but I'm gonna take this one now and leave the others to go through their color change. That's so beautiful. Now past these limes and these butternut squash, in this bed here, I have, in addition to some purple tomatillos and some purple osteospermum or African daisies, I've also got some giant Marconi peppers there. Can you see that one? I'm going to get those off. Well, I thought there was only one here, because as I said, I harvest as I go along. Every day I harvest several peppers. Been doing that since they started fruiting. But like I said, because I'm going on this trip, I want to get them all off at once, which is not something I normally do. Yeah, there's 3 big ones on here. Actually, I found a 4th. Yeah, 1, a smaller one, 2, and 2 gargantuan ones, 3 and 4. All right, time to harvest the Santa Fe Grandes. And like I said, there are more coming on, but let's get off what's ready now. They are all different colors, and they're all good. They all taste great. So I've taken 7 or 8 off. My favorite is the orange, both in color and taste, but I've left on the plant a couple of smaller ones and lots of blossoms. All right, time to harvest the snacking red peppers. Now, definitely one of the things that I've discovered growing the snacking red pepper over the last 4 years is that they taste great no matter what stage of ripeness they're at. And that's pretty much true with all peppers. You have to experiment. Occasionally, I have found a pepper that is just too bland when it's totally green. But for the most part, they just, oh, there's one that snuck under there. But for the most part, they have just different flavor profiles depending on the stage of ripeness, the color that they're at in their growth. So I encourage you to try them at all their various stages, because you may find you like certain peppers better green and certain other ones better, like me, at this middle stage, and others when they're fully turned. All right, I'm going to take this big bowl. It's looks are deceptive. It's quite a bit larger than it appears, full of pepper goodness and a few tomatillos into the house, rinse them off, and pop them in the freezer. Not time to call it a day yet, though. I have a lot of cherry tomatoes to harvest and get into the freezer alongside all those peppers. So I had a ton of cherry tomatoes throughout the first few months of the summer, as in June. Half of May, June, and half of July. And then by mid-July, all my cherry tomato plants died back. And you can see the evidence of that here amongst all this dead stuff. I did cut back a lot of the dead stuff, but the rest I just left there because lots and lots of new green growth resprouted in August. And now I have lots more tomatoes to harvest, both Sun Gold and Sweet 100. So yeah, around here it is easy to think your tomatoes are done by, say, July 20th, because the intense summer heat just wipes them out and they stop producing, and their, green growth turns brown and looks like the plant's completely dead. But I know better now. Keep watering. And then come the end of August, beginning of September, we have a lot of new growth, new blossoms, and, well, a lot more fruit. All right, I've got an almost full 4-inch deep crate of cherry tomatoes. And these were some tomatillos that had fallen to the ground early. So they get a lot bigger than this. But, whoa, I have to pick that up. But the ones that fall to the ground early, they're still good. And then if they stay on the bush, they will get bigger and bigger. These green ones with the slight purple tinge. Now, I also grow some small tomatillos that never get bigger than this, and they are a dark purple. Those ones aren't ripe yet. But I'm going to take all this stuff in the house, wash it off, and freeze it for salsa later. By the way, I actually have tons of cherry tomatoes left on the plants, especially the Sun Golds. I just ran out of steam is what happened, so I'll harvest the rest of them later. I spotted a butternut way down here amongst the geranium and managed to cut it. It is heavy. Wow. Here's another one. That bee wants to fertilize that flower. It's a bit late for that, but you go for it, bee. There we go. All right, there's 2 butternut amid the dying vines of the Delicata. Those are good size. Yeah. And look what I see in there. Another Delicata that eluded me before. And there's another Delicata. And I think there's actually a zucchini in here. Yep. All right, so after taking that last Delicata there and that very last zucchini that was hidden, I have discovered a carrot, one lone carrot. Now, I planted a bunch of carrots in this bed way back in, late January, early February. and I thought the birds got them all. Nothing came up. But this must have come up under the zucchini, and here it is. Now, it may not have grown much of a carrot, but these carrot greens, they make the best hummus. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do with these. Let's see if there's a carrot under there, though. I really don't know. Oh, there is. Let's see how big it is. I don't even remember what kind. Oh my gosh, it's a very warty carrot, but about 8 inches long. Wow, very cool. But really, the greens are what I'm happy about, because that'll make some nice hummus. For one of my kids really loves that. There we go. Very nice. My own personal little squash. And another one. That one's tiny, but it will still be delicious. Okay, I really think this is the last one. Got a couple of butternut here. One hiding under here. Yep. And one over here. And there we go. 2 nice big butternuts. And I think there's another one in this bed. Let's see. Yep, right in there. Oh, that's a big one. Big and heavy. Look at the borage coming up now that it's cooling off. Coming up at the bottom of my 15-gallon container that my lime tree is growing in. Oh my gosh, look at the size of those limes. They're huge. It's so pretty. And it's getting watered from the drainage holes under the lime tree. Anyway, back to what I was doing. There is a little baby butternut. And I don't say that just because it's tiny. It's an actual variety baby butternut. This one's called Butterbush. But it's still got quite a bit of green on it. You can see the stripes. So I'm going to leave that one there. We'll see if it survives. But right over here I have found a solitary kabocha. Couple more butternut here amidst the purple tree kale that's growing along the ground. At any point in time, I can come along here and take these stalks and plant these as new upright tree kale. But right now I'm just going to focus on getting off the butternuts. Oh, now that one is newer. You can still see the green striation. So I'm definitely going to leave that one another couple weeks. And I just discovered this bed with this huge cherry tomato plant in it. When you get in there, there are so many tomatoes here. And I totally forgot about this one. I'm just going to have to maybe harvest this tonight when I get a second wind. Man, look at those Red Roselle Hibiscus. They've been blooming for a couple of weeks now, and these are ones that are definitely best to harvest as you go, because the calyx here, which makes fantastic tea, Red Roselle tea, which is what goes into those, zinger teas you get commercially. This calyx dried makes the tea, and it also makes, what I usually use it for, the most fantastic jam ever. They are ready to harvest 7 to 10 days after your bloom has opened and then closed back up. So these bloom for 1 day, sometimes 2, but after that, about 7 to 10 days later is when you take off the calyx, because it will be just the right texture and it will be big, like down here. Look how nice and big that looks. And it's shiny texture, but firm. You don't want any mushiness. Yeah, that one's perfect. So happy that I planted so many Red Roselle Hibiscus this year and planted them all over. Here's some growing in containers. I've noticed on these Red Roselles that some of the flowers have been a deep pink and some have been this kind of cream color with a pink tinge. This is one that's about to open. Gets a little bit more sun on it. Whereas this pink one next to it bloomed yesterday, and you can see that the petals are kind of shriveled, and you can let them fall out naturally or pull them out, and then the calyx will continue to enlarge until time to harvest. But that's a harvest for another day. So my Trinidad scorpion peppers are finally, in mid-October, starting to fruit. Seriously, this bed of hot peppers has been the slowest producing of all my peppers. And I don't recall that ever happening before, but yeah, there are 6 hot pepper plants in here, including ghost peppers, and all of them super slow producing. So yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 dozen peppers now on here. Probably should take them off too. These Trinidad scorpions though, I haven't grown them before. I'm not sure how big they're supposed to get, but these right now are about 2.5 inches long. I think I'll take a few of the bigger ones and then maybe do a little more research and see, am I supposed to let them get a lot bigger than this, or is this pretty much it? I won't be testing these myself though, because, well, I do not do super hot peppers. I'll let someone else try them out. Now, if these are like ghost peppers, I'm gonna need to wash my hand really well before I touch my face with it. So the last squash I want to try to harvest a few of are the Long Island cheese. Now I've already harvested 4 or 5, maybe 6 ripe big ones that grew early. And now there are, I think, a couple more that I've seen hidden in here when I've walked by doing watering. So I want to find them and then see if there's any that have come on more recently that are green that I need to leave going. This is the one type of squash vine that still seems to be doing very well. In fact, still spreading. In addition, mixed in here, you'll see I still have some monster Armenian cucumbers, which I'm pretty much at this point growing only for my chickens, who absolutely adore them. I mean, this thing is probably at least 2 feet long and 4 or 5 inches across. Oh, there though is a Long Island cheese. Now these tendrils here do not look yellow, brown, and dried out. But, man, that is a big squash and it's very orange. It's like 14, 15 inches in diameter. I guess I'll leave it. There's a green one. Still kind of small. Definitely leaving that. Anything else in here besides very, oh my God, very massive cucumbers? Chickens are gonna be so happy. I mean, look at that one. Oh, another one. Oh, there's a Long Island cheese. All right, this curlicue here, tendril, is definitely drier than the other one, but not completely dry. So I'm gonna leave that one too. Any more? Oh, I see one more over here. Can you see it? Right in there. Yeah. Okay, I don't even see any tendrils. Well, I guess that's the closest one, and that one, they're totally dried out. This is a smaller one, but it's done. I'm going to cut that one off. Look, this vine is trying to grow more Long Island cheese squash. It's a bit late, guys. Don't really think you have it in you to go till, what, January? This Kakai pumpkin is done. All the tendrils around it are completely dried. Wow, that looks great. I was not expecting to harvest so many squash and pumpkin, and I even picked up a few little tiny summer squash and a few peppers I missed before, as well as those Trinidad scorpion hot peppers. Yeah, the thing is, As I've mentioned, I do harvest throughout the spring, summer, and fall as things come ripe, as I need them. So this is very rare that I harvest a lot at once, but I do just want to get everything off that's ripe now before I go on this trip so that my daughter, who's going to water at least once when I'm gone, will have, less to do. But I am so excited about all this. Well, I got a lot more harvested than I thought I was going to. Super exciting to see, all the hard work and all the days watering pay off like that. Plenty of squash to eat over the winter and plenty of ingredients for lots of salsa. So wherever you are, whatever the weather's like, I hope you are enjoying this time in your garden, this time in nature. And until, next time I see you, happy growing.